Have you ever thought about those moments in life that slip quietly through our fingers, never to return again? The quiet tick-tock of the clock on your wall, each second gone forever, carrying with it the echoes of opportunities you've missed and the lingering whispers of words you wish you could take back. Ancient Chinese philosophers warned us centuries ago. Three things never come back: time, words, and opportunities. But how often do we truly pause to reflect on the profound truth hidden within these simple words? Imagine standing on a platform, watching a train depart, a train that symbolizes every missed chance, every lost moment, every word spoken hastily. Once it moves away from your reach, no amount of regret can pull it back. How many of us have let precious opportunities drift by, distracted by trivial worries or fears of what others might think? How many times have careless words said in anger or haste permanently damaged relationships that once felt unbreakable? Yet perhaps the most intriguing idea from these ancient teachings is not just regret, but awareness, an awakening that reveals we actually have two lives. Our second life, as the philosophers remind us, begins the very instant we recognize that we only have one. This realization can strike unexpectedly, shaking our world and reshaping the very core of who we are. It's the moment we stop chasing shadows, stop wasting energy on meaningless battles, and begin to truly live with intention. But here's the secret, the real magic hidden beneath these words. It's never too late to begin that second life. No matter how much time we've wasted, how many words we've regretted, or how many opportunities we've let pass by, today can mark a turning point. Ancient wisdom gently whispers that it's not about how much time you have left, but how deeply you live the time that remains. So, are you ready to embark on this powerful journey of transformation? Are you prepared to reclaim your lost time, to speak carefully chosen words, and to seize the opportunities life generously offers? Stay with me as we unravel the profound secrets hidden in ancient Chinese philosophy, guiding you towards a life lived without regret. Because, perhaps, the greatest risk isn't missing out on life, but realizing too late that you never truly lived it. Have you ever paused to consider why ancient Chinese philosophers emphasize so deeply that time, words, and opportunities are the most precious things we possess? Let's journey deeper into this wisdom, connecting it seamlessly to our awakening that life is fleeting and every moment matters profoundly. Think about time for a moment. It's the most democratic resource we have. Everyone receives exactly the same amount every day. 24 hours, no more, no less. Yet, why do some people seem to accomplish so much, while others perpetually complain about not having enough time? The answer lies in understanding the true nature of time itself. Time is invisible, yet irreplaceable, subtle, yet powerful. Once it passes, it becomes an intangible memory, impossible to reclaim. The philosophers taught us that acknowledging the finite nature of our days is the first step toward truly valuing life. Imagine if each second was a golden coin. Would you waste even one? Each moment spent wisely brings fulfillment, whereas each moment wasted leaves a lingering echo of regret. Next come words, the powerful tools that shape our relationships, our reputations, and even our destinies. Have you ever uttered something in anger and wished immediately that you could swallow those words back? Ancient wisdom cautions us to choose our words as carefully as we would select the sharpest sword. A single careless remark can tear down trust built painstakingly over years, while a carefully chosen word can heal wounds and inspire hearts. Words are seeds. Once planted, they either blossom into beautiful connections or grow into thorny regrets. Understanding this empowers you to speak intentionally, harnessing language as a bridge rather than a barrier. Finally, consider opportunities, the fleeting moments presented to us disguised in everyday situations. Opportunity doesn't knock loudly, it whispers softly, often hidden behind uncertainty or fear. It's only after these opportunities have quietly slipped away that we realize their immense value. Philosophers teach us that opportunities multiply as we seize them, each action opening the door to another. But each missed opportunity quietly closes doors that could have transformed our lives forever. To recognize and grasp opportunities requires courage, the courage to act decisively, even in moments of doubt. Reflecting on these teachings helps us embrace life differently, shifting from regret over lost chances to excitement over what lies ahead. Now that you've awakened to your second life, remember, your time is precious, your words hold immense power, and opportunities await only your readiness. Are you ready to live intentionally, speak thoughtfully, and act courageously? This awareness could redefine your entire life's trajectory. Because once you truly value time, words, and opportunities, your life will never be the same again. Understanding the value of your time, words, and opportunities is just the beginning. Now comes the deeper, even more profound practice: mindfulness and truly living in the present moment. Ancient Chinese philosophers beautifully expressed a timeless truth. If you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. But if you're at peace, you're living in the present. Think about that carefully. How often do you find yourself stuck replaying painful memories or endlessly worrying about uncertainties ahead? The answer for most of us is too often. Living in the past can feel like being trapped inside an invisible cage, where regrets become heavy chains that stop us from moving forward. When we constantly revisit moments we cannot change, mistakes we've made, or opportunities we've missed, we lose precious energy that could be devoted to the life we have right now. Conversely, anxiety about the future, about things we cannot control, turns our mind into a stormy sea, tossing us endlessly between doubt and fear. We become prisoners to scenarios that haven't even happened, often never will. But imagine, just for a moment, stepping fully into the present, where you are free from the burdens of yesterday and untroubled by tomorrow's uncertainties. Picture your life as a series of beautiful, irreplaceable moments, each waiting patiently for your complete attention. When you embrace mindfulness, each breath you take feels richer, each conversation more meaningful, and each decision more deliberate. Ancient philosophers remind us that true peace resides exclusively in the present. But how exactly do we achieve this elusive state? The answer is simpler than you think: awareness. It's being genuinely present during simple activities, tasting every sip of your morning coffee, truly listening to a loved one's words, or noticing the beauty hidden within an ordinary day. Mindfulness is about gently guiding your wandering mind back into the present, over and over, until it becomes second nature. This awareness can transform your life dramatically. It will free you from regret, ease your anxiety, and bring clarity and calmness to your decisions. Once you begin living mindfully, you'll notice how your life suddenly expands. Time seems richer, words carry deeper meaning, and opportunities become clearer, easier to seize. So now, equipped with the wisdom to value your time, words, and opportunities, are you ready to take the next step? Are you ready to let go of yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's worries, and finally embrace the powerful, liberating peace that can only be found by living in this moment, right here, right now? As you step deeper into mindfulness and discover the power of the present moment, you unlock another powerful gateway: self-awareness and inner growth. Ancient Chinese philosophers wisely taught that true understanding begins within. They believed that the greatest battles we face aren't fought on distant fields, but within our own minds and hearts. It's through this internal journey, where we confront our shadows, acknowledge our strengths, and honestly assess our limitations, that real transformation begins. Self-awareness is like standing in front of a clear, undistorted mirror for the first time. It requires courage because we may not always like what we see. Yet, this honest reflection is the foundation for profound inner growth. Ancient wisdom reminds us, the man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. What you believe about yourself determines your reality. If you continuously tell yourself you're incapable, unworthy, or undeserving, these words become chains holding you back from reaching your true potential. But imagine instead cultivating a mindful awareness of your inner voice, recognizing negative thoughts not as truths, but as illusions holding you back. Picture your mind as a garden. Every thought you entertain is a seed planted. If you nurture negative seeds, your garden becomes overgrown with doubt, fear, and insecurity. But if you consciously choose to plant positive thoughts, confidence, courage, compassion, you begin to grow a garden that thrives, abundant with possibility and peace. Inner growth also means taking responsibility for your choices rather than pointing fingers elsewhere. Philosophers famously warned, "Don't criticize your neighbor's roof for snow when your own door isn't clean." How often do we distract ourselves by judging others, avoiding the uncomfortable task of facing our own shortcomings? Growth demands honesty, humility, and the strength to acknowledge when we are wrong. Each moment of genuine self-awareness brings clarity, teaching us lessons more valuable than any external victory. This ancient wisdom challenges us to nurture our own fields before criticizing others, to find the courage to admit mistakes, to learn from failures, and most importantly, to commit ourselves fully to personal growth. When you become truly self-aware, you stop comparing your journey with others and begin striving only to become better than who you were yesterday. Now that you've embraced mindfulness and the art of living in the present, are you ready to embark on the most rewarding adventure of all? Are you prepared to look inward with honesty, humility, and courage and transform your life through genuine self-awareness and meaningful inner growth? Your journey is only just beginning. Now that you've courageously embarked on the profound journey of self-awareness and inner growth, it's time to discover one of the most powerful yet misunderstood secrets of ancient wisdom: strength through simplicity and humility. Ancient Chinese philosophers emphasized repeatedly that real strength doesn't shout loudly or flaunt itself. Instead, it quietly resides in the simplicity of your actions and the humility of your heart. Picture a majestic tree standing tall amid storms, wind, and rain. Its strength isn't derived from rigidity, but from flexibility. It bends gracefully, adapting itself to every challenge nature throws at it. Likewise, ancient sages taught us there is nothing softer and more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it. True strength, therefore, doesn't require aggression or arrogance. Instead, it flourishes in gentleness, adaptability, and simplicity. Why simplicity? Because complexity often clouds our judgment, distracts our focus, and drains our inner peace. When your life becomes overly complicated by ambitions, possessions, or endless comparisons with others, your inner strength diminishes. Philosophers believe that genuine power emerges when we strip away unnecessary layers, shedding superficial desires, and rediscovering the core of who we truly are. Simplicity brings clarity, allowing you to see clearly what truly matters in life: relationships, peace, kindness, and meaningful living. And why humility? Because humility opens doors that pride stubbornly closes. Appear weak when you are strong, strong when you are weak, ancient sages advised. They knew the power of humility lies not in denying your strengths, but in recognizing the strengths of others. Humility makes you approachable, teachable, and deeply respected. It transforms competitors into allies, strangers into friends, and challenges into opportunities for growth. Imagine the freedom and confidence you'll experience when you no longer feel the constant need to prove yourself to others. True strength doesn't require validation. It quietly, gently asserts itself in a way that draws admiration without effort. A life built on simplicity and humility brings a peaceful confidence, a magnetic quality that others naturally gravitate toward. You've already learned the importance of mindful living, valuing each moment and nurturing inner growth. Now, embracing simplicity and humility will further enrich your life, grounding you firmly in unshakable peace and powerful resilience. So, are you ready to let go of complexity and pride? Are you willing to discover the true strength that lies hidden in simplicity and humility? The path ahead might appear subtle, yet the transformation awaiting you is nothing short of extraordinary. As you embrace the quiet strength of simplicity and humility, another profound door opens, guiding you toward deeper wisdom in relationships and communication. Ancient Chinese philosophers recognized long ago that our lives are intricately woven through connections with others, and the true measure of a fulfilling life lies not in solitary victories, but in meaningful relationships and mindful communication. Consider this ancient wisdom. Pleasant words are not always true, and true words are not always pleasant. Reflect deeply on that statement. How often have you prioritized comfort over honesty or avoided uncomfortable truths to maintain harmony? True wisdom in relationships means knowing that genuine connections are built upon trust, authenticity, and courage, not simply upon the easy comfort of agreeable words. While pleasant words might soothe temporarily, it's honesty, even when difficult, that builds lasting respect and profound trust. Think for a moment about a true friend, the one who isn't afraid to point out your mistakes, not from criticism, but from genuine care. Ancient philosophers taught that those who flatter us excessively are not friends, but foes in disguise, while those who honestly address our faults are true companions who help us grow. This realization transforms how we interact with others. It encourages us not only to embrace honest feedback, but also to communicate thoughtfully, with compassion and integrity. Furthermore, true wisdom understands the power of forgiveness. Ancient teachings remind us that holding grudges, harboring resentment, or refusing forgiveness imprisons us, not others. By choosing forgiveness, you elevate yourself above negativity, healing relationships, and freeing yourself from the toxic chains of anger. Wisdom in relationships recognizes that the strongest bonds are formed not through perfection, but through the courage to forgive, grow, and communicate with honesty and compassion. Communication, too, is a powerful skill that ancient philosophers treasured deeply. Imagine your words as arrows. Once released, they cannot return. Each word carries profound potential to heal or harm, inspire or discourage, build or destroy. Therefore, wisdom teaches us to choose carefully, speaking intentionally and mindfully, ensuring our words align with truth, compassion, and respect. By mastering simplicity and humility, you've already unlocked immense strength within yourself. Now, by applying ancient wisdom in relationships and communication, you deepen your capacity for meaningful connection and genuine intimacy. Are you ready to speak with mindful honesty, to listen deeply, and to build relationships rooted in authentic trust? Your journey continues, and through these powerful ancient lessons, you're well equipped to cultivate relationships that enrich your soul and elevate your life. Having embraced the wisdom of authentic communication and meaningful relationships, you're now ready to discover yet another essential truth from ancient Chinese philosophers: the art of balance and moderation. Ancient wisdom repeatedly reminds us that the secret to living a fulfilling and harmonious life doesn't lie in extremes, but rather in cultivating a gentle equilibrium that guides our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Imagine your life as a finely tuned instrument. If the strings are too tight, they snap, too loose, and they lose their melody. Likewise, our lives demand a delicate balance between work and rest, ambition and contentment, solitude and connection. Ancient sages warned us, fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will become blunt. Excessive pursuit of anything, no matter how noble, inevitably leads to imbalance, dissatisfaction, and even harm. Balance teaches us the subtle beauty of contentment. Rather than continuously chasing what we don't have, true wisdom invites us to recognize and appreciate what we already possess. When we become excessively attached to possessions, status, or the approval of others, our inner peace becomes fragile and easily disturbed. But by embracing moderation, we free ourselves from relentless desires that fuel endless stress and disappointment. As the ancient proverb wisely states, he who is satisfied with his lot is rich. Real wealth lies in contentment, in valuing the present moment and the simple pleasures life generously provides. Moreover, balance also guides how we manage our emotions, particularly anger, frustration, and disappointment. Ancient philosophers advised us to think of the consequences when anger rises. Emotional moderation prevents impulsive reactions and allows us to respond thoughtfully and calmly to life's challenges. Imagine navigating life's storms not by being tossed helplessly in their chaos, but by sailing smoothly through them, guided by the steady compass of moderation and self-control. Balance is also crucial in relationships and communication, as it teaches us to listen as much as we speak, give as much as we receive, and value harmony above dominance. It protects us from burning out, from relationships collapsing under the weight of imbalance, and from our own minds being overwhelmed by anxiety or regret. Having learned the strength of simplicity, humility, and mindful communication, you now hold the key to harmony. Will you choose balance and moderation as guiding principles for your life? As you embrace these ancient teachings, you'll discover that a balanced life isn't about restriction, but about freedom. Freedom from extremes, freedom from constant dissatisfaction, and ultimately, freedom to live your most peaceful, meaningful life. Having found harmony through balance and moderation, you're now prepared for one of the most transformative teachings ancient Chinese wisdom has to offer: the power of continuous learning and adaptation. Ancient philosophers deeply understood that life itself is an ever-evolving journey, and true wisdom isn't a destination you reach once and remain forever. Rather, it's an ongoing process of curiosity, reflection, and adjustment, continuously shaping us into better, wiser, and stronger versions of ourselves. Picture yourself standing beside a river. Its water constantly flows and adapts to every obstacle it encounters, effortlessly adjusting its path around rocks, branches, and earth. Ancient wisdom compares our lifelong learning journey to this river, always moving, always changing, always finding new pathways forward. Learning isn't limited to formal education or specific experiences. Instead, it's a mindset, an openness to growth, an eagerness to embrace new ideas, and a willingness to admit when we are wrong. One profound piece of ancient wisdom says, "The wise man is one who knows what he does not know." Humility and recognizing our limitations is the very foundation of continuous learning. It's about understanding that knowledge is infinite, and no matter how much we know, there will always be more to explore. This mindset keeps us curious and engaged, transforming life into a rich adventure filled with endless possibilities for growth. Yet, continuous learning alone isn't enough. Adaptation is equally essential. Ancient sages remind us that life will never stop changing, and the key to success and inner peace is our ability to adapt gracefully. Think about trees that survive harsh storms. Those that bend adaptively withstand the winds, while rigid ones break. Likewise, adapting flexibly to life's unpredictable challenges, embracing change rather than resisting it, is how we thrive. Adaptation teaches resilience, equipping us to cope with setbacks not as failures, but as valuable lessons. Ancient wisdom tells us our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Each challenge, each failure is an opportunity for deeper wisdom. Each time we adapt, we grow stronger, wiser, and more capable of navigating life's complexities. You've already mastered the art of balance, moderation, and mindful communication. Now, are you ready to embrace lifelong learning, humility, and the incredible power of adaptation? Remember, the journey doesn't end here. It's continually unfolding, rich with insights, growth, and possibility. The river of knowledge flows forever, inviting you to evolve endlessly along its path. Are you ready to flow gracefully, continuously learning, adapting, and thriving along the way? As we've journeyed together through these timeless lessons, from valuing your time, words, and opportunities, embracing mindfulness, nurturing self-awareness, finding strength in simplicity and humility, mastering wisdom in relationships, cultivating balance and moderation, to continuously learning and adapting, you've unlocked secrets that have the power to profoundly change your life. But remember, the real transformation begins not just in knowing these teachings, but in actively applying them each day. Every small step you take, every mindful moment you embrace, brings you closer to the life of wisdom, peace, and fulfillment you always imagined. If today's video resonated with you and inspired a deeper understanding, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might also benefit from these powerful insights. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future videos designed to help you grow wiser, live deeper, and enjoy your life fully. Your support means everything. It helps us continue spreading ancient wisdom, empowering countless others along their journey to personal growth and lasting happiness. Thank you for being part of our community. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep living mindfully.